You're doing the healing work, the inner work, and you still get triggered by your parents, then that is your nervous system talking to you. There is something that still needs integration, because healing is much more than the inner child work or the relationship you had with your parents. It is also about the pain the generations before us had and did not feel yet. So today's topic is all about transgenerational pain, how to know if you have some transgenerational pain, how to release it, and ultimately how to integrate. If you're new here, my name is Jana, and together with my husband Albert, we creating a beautiful space for healing retreats for souls just like you. And this is a topic that is coming up over and over again when we start healing, integrating, learning more about us and our past. So let's be clear. What are actually triggers? How can you spot that there is transgenerational trauma in your lineage? First of all, you feel extremely guilty for the pain of your family. So you really want to help your family. The second area where you can notice transgenerational pain is actually when you have like a loyalty to your parents that is actually damaging to your mental health. And this is a huge topic for millennials or the other generations that are now coming, because like damaging loyalty is actually saying that there is something wrong in the family history. So another topic, another area, how to spot a trigger is that it's very hard for you to access anger, sadness, pain. So you already feel like, I don't have a really connection to anger or sadness. So huge indicator. Another area is you are rather functioning than really being and feeling. So you're in this loop of functioning. You feel that your body is tense, like your digestion, your skin, and you cannot really figure out what it is. So huge indicators. Let's start with this beautiful journey I created for us. First of all, this is you. I have a little overview. 2025. This is you. Adult children. We are the generation that is finally feeling and acknowledging all the pain. Everything that has been stuck down for years is now on our table. And I've asked myself, why? Why? Why are we the one? And the answer is because now is the time. Now is the space. Now is actually the space to feel safe and release all the trauma that we're going to talk about that has not been acknowledged for centuries. Let's go into it. We have your mom. And I put actually the birth date. We're going to start the other way around. Let's go to the time of your grandma. Let's go right here. We are in 1914. What happened? I'm going to talk about more on the background on Germany, but I'm using that as a general background on what happened not only in Germany, but also in your country to that time. So at that time, World War I, we had huge traumatized men coming back, silenced, never talked again. Hunger, poverty, people were angry. We had a huge collective pain, which was not healed, but used for the generations of our grandparents. So your grandma, she grew up during World War II. This was the perfect basis for people at that time to use the pain, not to transform it, but to use it for a generation that is listening and has no emotions and would just follow any orders. Holocaust, silence, no emotion, functioning. So we have a whole generation that is growing up where feelings are absolutely dangerous to feel. Because if you would feel, you would have to acknowledge that this is terrible, what is happening. Don't believe anybody knew what was going on. And in the human, in the soul, you can feel when something is wrong. But to acknowledge it, that takes courage. Let's go on. The generation of our parents. I put this date to it and also this one because those are the dates my mom and my grandparents was born. So that's why I have these indicators. So there's a huge generation of our parents that never talked about the past. It was silenced. We're never going to talk about this time again. No, no, no. And they used shame and guilt as a parenting skill. And you might have felt it because, oh, boys don't cry, have no emotions. You don't cry about that, or I give you something to cry about. So here we are with this generation. And, you know, this is us. So this is our childhood. We always talk about the time they grew up. This is us. Like, what is going on? Like, why are my parents cannot connect to me? Now we have adult children that are wondering, why is it so hard to connect to my parents? Like, why can they not acknowledge my pain? Because that meant they would have to acknowledge all the things that happened before them. So, here we are. What happens to pain that did not felt in all the generations before? What happened to it? We cannot silent about it. It's not gonna go away. It stays in your nervous system. So, here we have it. All the stuff is staying in your nervous system. This is in your DNA. That's why some things you feel, they're not actually yours. They are the feelings from generations before you. So let's look at this. All these things, it never was acknowledged. It never was therapy or we did work through it. What is happening to a person that did not release the trauma properly? Emotional silence. That means your nervous system shuts down. So you don't feel anything. You might know it from your childhood where you just kind of freeze. Beautiful sign of your nervous system. Shame. You feel shame in people's posture. How do people stand? How are they walking? You can feel in people's posture how connected are they to their own worth. So, here we have that. Repressed anger. What's happening with that? You feel it in someone's voice. You can feel it in someone's actions. In your jaw. You know how many people have a tense jaw? It is insane how much we are biting our tongue to be silent. And it's not our job anymore to be silent. This generation, if you see this and if you feel everything, and sometimes you feel like it's so much, it is your honor to do that for a whole generation before you. And you ask, why me? Well, I asked the question, because you choose that. From a higher perspective, it is time. Because what you choose to release for yourself, you do for all the people that are still coming, for your children and for their children. And now there is the capacity. Now there are humans that support each other. We are holding the space. We are doing that with Light Connect. That's why we're doing what we're doing, because now is the time for that. And unreleased trauma. Hyper-vigilant. Oh, goodness. How many women are hyper-vigilant? Always on guard. Always on who is attacking me? Who is saying the next thing? This is it. So, everything that's not released, stay in the nervous system. The more you connect to that pain, to the trauma of your ancestors, ask the question, how was the emotional environment of my grandma? How was the emotional environment of my parents when they grew up? This is not for shaming, but to take responsibility, the ability to respond to the present moment. It's not about digging into the past. It's really for understanding. And here are my tips, how I did it and how I would suggest anybody that is going to trauma from your ancestors. First thing, read this book. It did not start with you. This book is very eye-opening and it brings back these topics we just catched on. Just by reading this book, you're gonna feel so much relation to your own pain and to the things you think, why does nobody understand me? Why does nobody understand me? This is healing when you read this. And based on this book, my second tip for you, watch the series Another Self. The series is based on this book, and it is a beautiful story of, I think her name is Anna or something, and she went through this whole journey where, you know, she realizes some things she felt in her side are actually not hers. So she went to this place where they have this, it's called, I don't know, in German it's called Aufstellung. So you basically put people in a room and subconsciously you choose, let's say, your dad or your mom, and you re-feel their pain. And it's really magical. I get goosebumps talking about it. So watching this series brings another level of clarity and most of all understanding. What happens when you understand? With understanding, it will bring you peace, because this, your childhood pain, the pain of your parents, it cannot be done again. Like we cannot do anything about it. It's over, it's done. But in order for you to live in presence, to live in peace, because what is healing about? Healing is about presence. So you want to be present. You want to be able to enjoy this life. You want to be able to connect to your emotions in a healthy way that is serving you, that is giving you something worth living, to be present with your children, with the people around you, the mission you have, to enjoy it. And you can only do that if you go back one by one and ask the questions, what happened here that did not be released? And I'm going to do it because I have the capacity. That is honoring your past, acknowledging it and learning from it and integrating it. So the third tip, the integration, comes when you start sitting, and this is an exercise we're going to do together now. Just close your eyes and be with me here for a moment. You close your eyes and you imagine you're sitting in a garden. It's a big, beautiful field. And on your right shoulder, you feel the hand of your father. He's standing right behind you. And on your left shoulder, there's the hand of your mother. And on your father's back, on his right side of the shoulder, is his father touching his shoulder. And on his left side is his mother. And also for your mother, behind her, on her right side is her father. And on her left side is her mother. And this picture continues. You see all the generations behind you. You feel them. And they are all thanking you because they have waited for you to feel it. And in that moment, you feel the both hands of your parents on your shoulders. It's not only your parents that say thank you in spirit to you, but generations before you. And that is the picture of integration. feeling how releasing this, what could not have been felt at the time it wasn't safe, is. That is transgenerational trauma being released, being felt, honored, and integrated. So, reparenting, it starts with you, starts with your inner child. And then you have the capacity to go on, to move in a bigger picture. If you did not watch the video before, Reparenting Yourself, that is the 3-step process how to actually connect to that inner self and being more present with yourself, because that's the goal of healing. Nothing else. Releasing the stuff that we no longer need. That's the past. We're not here to carry it. Not anymore. And that's your job. So, beautiful souls. If you want to know more about upcoming retreats, you can check out the link below. Otherwise, I wish you a beautiful day, and I see you in the next video.